What makes a good director? That's a big question. Yeah, I think the first thing for anybody who is a director or who is contemplating going into directing, one of the first things you have to become quickly aware of for yourself is what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. Directing is such a complex process. And it covers such a wide range from the intuitive, the intellectual, the psychological aspects of directing, all the way down to the technical and the visual. There is so much to know. There's so much to learn. The first thing you have to start to recognize is where are my strengths and where are my weaknesses, and how am I going to shore up those weaknesses so I can become stronger in those areas. And I'll just talk personally because since, as I said before, I started in the world of theater and I still work in theater, it's very clear to me my strengths are with story, working with characters, working with actors, bringing the actors to life, bringing the event that we're going to film to life without any technology, without cameras. So even if it's in a rehearsal room or on a stage, I can do. That's my real strength. Once I move beyond that into cameras and stuff, I say, okay, this is not my greatest strength. So it's not that I have to learn this immediately and before I can direct. Actually, you don't have to. First of all, you have to realize that it's not your strength. Now it's a matter of me knowing I need really good people around me who that is their strength. Now we're into the crew and the cinematographer, production design, and a lot of that, and even the editor and all that, even though I can do a little bit of that, but not to the extent of other people. So that's just me knowing that's what I need to create the best film or best product that I can. And so that's the first thing. Now you can look at directors like Sam Mendes, who is a very, very powerful director, did American Beauty, did two versions of the James Bond. And if you watch his films, the performances are powerful. He came out of theater. And he even said with American Beauty, he says, I don't know anything about cameras. I don't know. He sat down by himself and storyboarded every single scene to try to figure out visually what to do. But he also brought in Conrad Hall, he brought in a cinematographer, and he listened to other people.
Right.
So that's another thing I think you really need. You really need to be able to, sounds contradictory, have a very strong vision of what you want and be willing to change your mind. Listen to other people. Now you mentioned, I think earlier, I think this was during this interview, maybe before, about the danger of other people taking over.
Yes. Talking about new directors and not realizing that there's strengths that they have to have, and they'll start relying on other people. And if they're not careful, that person can dominate too much. So they still have to have boundaries.
Yeah, they have to have boundaries. They have to be clear on what they want, and yet at the same time, and this happens to a lot of directors as they're directing something. Maybe it's their first thing, maybe it's not, maybe it's second or third, and they're working with some amazingly powerful and talented and skilled actors. And you go, great, that's what you need. But those powerful and skilled and talented actors are so good and have so much experience, probably more experience than you'll ever have. They can do anything, and they have ideas, and they're great storytellers, and you can get overwhelmed by them.
Yes.
But you can also elevate your film with them. So it's not a matter of shutting them off and saying, no, I have to do it my way, which I tried once in one project I was doing, and that didn't work very well.
It didn't work out for you.
No, I mean, it was fine, but I realized that was not the way to do it. That was not,
right.
I was trying to show that I was clear about what I wanted. And the actor went, okay, fine. Then I realized that was silly. And, it was silly to close the doors to other ideas. So a big part of directing is, can you listen to all the other ideas that you'll get, not only from the actors, but from the cinematographer, production designer, producers, writers? They'll all give you ideas. And you have to be able to listen to all of them and consider every single one of them. And then think, okay, then you have to make a choice based on that. Don't cut them out.